I had been keeping track of a series of disappearances in the area I was stationed. The majority of them had been clustered just a few hours north of where I was, and were starting to speed up. The time in between people going missing had dropped to just a matter of weeks in between, and the victims seemed to be getting more random. The first people to go missing were hikers, then campers, the types of people that tend to disappear in the wilderness, but they were starting to get closer and closer to the outskirts of town. This really got my attention and gave me cause to spring into action. I wasn't to go on my own though. I wasn't sure who or what the culprit of the missing people was, and I didn't know if I could handle it on my own. Sonny was able to finesse our way onto the property of a guy that seemed to be at the epicenter or point of origin of all the disappearances. I drove out to the guy's land, and when I arrived, Sonny was already there by his truck getting geared up. "Is it cool if I park here?" I asked him, turning off my truck. "Yeah, that's cool. I know this guy. He knows we're here." I got out and started to get geared up along with him. I knew we wanted to head out soon and get as much use of the daylight as we could. "Any idea what we're looking for?" Sonny asked me. "Honestly, no. I'm sure we'll know once we see it. You have any theories?" "I haven't been tracking this case that long. Could be anything, really." He closed up his truck and swung his bag onto his back. "Ready?" I grabbed my stuff and my shotgun. "Let's go." The two of us started out searching the property, looking for any clues or anything suspicious. The longer we didn't find anything, the worse I started to feel. I felt bad for dragging Sonny out with me on what was starting to appear to be a wild goose chase. We were searching in concentric circles, closing in on the epicenter on my map. We could have just headed towards the center, but I wanted to get an idea of what we were up against, maybe find some clues along the way. The closer we got to the center, clues started to appear. We came up on a series of stick sculptures hanging from branches of a dead tree. Sonny went up to one of them and started to give it a better look. "Nice," he said, spinning it in his hand. "What?" I asked. "There's teeth tied into this one." "Human teeth?" "Looks like it," he said. "They're a very creative monster, aren't they?" I responded. "Must have a lot of time on its hands. I think we're looking for a person or people. I haven't met many artistic monsters in my time," Sonny said. We left the sculptures where they were and continued on towards the center. When we finally got to the point on my map, we could see a dilapidated structure in a small clearing. It was overgrown, but the house wasn't hidden enough for us to pass by. There was a path to and from the front of the house, making me think that someone had been using it recently, stamping out a path. We cautiously made our way up to the house, staying off the pre-made path on the lookout for any sorts of booby traps. There wasn't a front door. All the wood along the frame and the inside, from what I could see, looked rotted and on the verge of collapse. Sonny stayed by the door, and I watched my back as I went farther inside the falling structure. Once inside, I could see that all along the walls and anywhere there was space, wannabe satanic-looking symbols and phrases meant to scare people had been scrawled all over. I assumed they had been written in blood. We were most definitely dealing with people. I knew it at that point. I was convinced I had found the nest of our artistic monster. I knew a little of real symbols and magic that I had learned from talking to watchmen and wardens, and these were just some kind of internet wannabe magic symbols. Just then a loud yell came roaring down the staircase from what was left of the second floor. Sonny and I both readied ourselves. The man from upstairs yelled again and growled at us, "Get out!" "Make us," I yelled back up and winked over at Sonny. I wasn't intimidated by any of this. Both of us were experienced reapers, having taken down all kinds of real monsters. These men were nothing but kittens to us. The man came running towards the rotted stairwell and came barreling down the stairs. I trained my gun on him, but before taking a shot or saying anything, the stairs gave way, cracking and crumbling under his weight. The man helplessly fell through them and let out a cry of pain, immediately changing his demeanor to that of a wounded animal. I looked under the staircase to get a peek at his leg. It was slightly bent the wrong way and starting to bleed pretty bad. "I think he broke his leg," I said to Sonny. "What a clown," he said back as the man continued to whimper and even ask us to help him. I fired off a shot through the wall and yelled upstairs for anyone else to come out and join us. 3 more burnout wannabe Satanists appeared from the second floor and made their way down carefully past their injured comrade. Sonny and I got them down and tied them up in the living room of the first floor. We pulled the injured guy out of the stairs and got him tied up as well. All 4 of them, hogtied and splayed out in the living room. The one with the broken foot yelled out, "I'm the king of death." This immediately sent me and Sonny into laughter. "Is that right?" I responded. I walked over and gently pressed my foot on the man's injured leg, making him cry out in pain again. "If you're the king of death, what does that make the 2 of us?" "You're sheep, cattle ready to be slaughtered." We just laughed some more. "Where are the bodies?" Sonny asked. "What bodies?" one of the men replied. Sonny walked over slowly towards the man, stopping in front of him and holding eye contact the whole time until the man sheepishly looked down. "Yeah, it's them," Sonny said, looking over at me. "I think I agree with you on this one." "Go ahead, arrest me. It won't stop me. You can't stop the storm," the man with the broken leg said. "Arrest you? Do we look like the police to you?" "No, we're not in the arresting business," Sonny said back to him. Sonny and I eliminated the 4 cannibals in that house, leaving them for a Cavalier cleanup crew and sending in our coordinates to the local station coordinator. The 2 of us felt relieved and relaxed, the feeling of a job well done. We even made it back to our trucks just as the sun was setting behind the trees. It wasn't until a week later that I realized something had gone as well as the 2 of us had thought. The coordinator called me back to check up on some paperwork discrepancies. Sonny and I had reported 4 bodies for the cleanup, but the Cavalier crew had only recovered 3. My stomach sank and my mind reeled when he told me. I was so angry I felt like I had been outsmarted. The real leader had been there the whole time. Something inhuman had squeaked under my nose and I felt personally responsible for screwing that up. All I could do now was keep my eye out for more disappearances and wait for my opportunity to even this out, to fix my mistake. I had been complacent, thinking I was only dealing with humans, and I had let something slip through my fingers. It wouldn't happen a second time.